We said there was a chance. We weren't fully convinced, but we still said it. Michigan beat Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Was this the greatest 8-5 season ever or not? Coming up next. Welcome to the Point of Minute show on Michigan football at the voice of college football, where we average one outstanding point for every minute of video. My name is Cliff. His name is Mac. Let's get into it. Now, like every other Michigan fan, we expected great things from Michigan this season, and that didn't exactly happen. And then our 6-5 Michigan Wolverines beat the number 2 Buckeyes. And then our 7-5 Michigan Wolverines did it again and beat the number 11 Alabama Crimson Tide. When you add in that Michigan won the Little Brown Jug, the Paul Bunyan Trophy, and is currently scoring a great recruiting class, we must ask, was this the greatest 8-5 season ever? Mac, let me reframe that just a little. Can we, as Michigan fans, claim 2024 was a successful season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Now,
Yeah.
do you want to add to that a little bit?
Sure. I'll add some color to that. Yeah. The way I said it, I think I said this midseason. I'm pretty sure it was after the Washington game. Because it was the Lions, the Detroit Lions, NFC North champions, back to back,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Love
Go
it.
Lions.
Go Lions, one pride. Midway through the season, I had said after the national championship, after Michigan won the national championship, if someone had gone up to all you Michigan fans and said, okay, you just won the national championship, would you now sacrifice the 2024 season so that the Detroit Lions could make a Super Bowl run? All of you would have said yes. All of you would have said yes. And I got a bunch of replies on Twitter saying, yeah, I'd probably do that. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. We sacrificed the 2024 Michigan football season so that the Detroit Lions could make a Super Bowl run. And they're doing it. And everybody on their defense is injured. They're seriously the injuries on the defense. I mean, that defense right now is a bunch of guys. I mean, some of them are former plumbers. Some of them were actually homeless folks that they picked up on the street.
A couple of the
Other
cheerleaders
people,
are pitching in.
a couple of the cheerleaders pitched in. I saw one girl made a great tackle on Justin Jefferson.
Nice.
That's not true. No disrespect to the guy who actually tackled Justin Jefferson. We're just making a joke. Anyway, not about you. The point being that yes, this was a successful season. This was great. I mean, it wasn't another national championship. It wasn't a Big Ten championship. And yeah, we got kind of used to those things over the last few years. They've been pretty great. We like those. But there's an obvious bit of turnover that happened with this season. Sharon Moore's a brand new head coach. He's trying to get his staff in place. He's trying to get his players in place. He's kind of shafted a little bit in terms of the timing. Couldn't get a good quarterback through the portal. I understand that. They also thought that they had something special in either Davis Warren or Alex Orji. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out very much. And that's not to say that they didn't give everything they absolutely had every single week. It's not a knock on the players. It kind of sounds like maybe Sharon Moore thought Kirk Campbell was more the issue than Davis Warren, and that's not a knock on Kirk Campbell either. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. These things happen. You have no idea what happened in Schembechler Hall. We have no idea why Michigan went 6-5 or 7-5 in the regular season. All we know is that this 7-5 season, while it felt like a disaster of a season and like we wanted to put paper bags over our heads like the Chicago Bears fans and just weep silently while Ohio State fans and Michigan State fans, for God only knows why Michigan State fans are laughing at us. When was their bowl game again? When was that? Can somebody tell me when their bowl game was? No? Is that a no?
Well,
I don't
no,
know
wait a
why
minute.
they're
You got to be careful with that one because the Ohio State fans are ridiculing us, saying, "When are you in the playoffs?" So
who cares?
I know.
I don't
too
care.
much fun with this 8-5 season.
Seriously, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like halfway through the season, we're ready with the paper bags. We're going to hide. We're going to silently weep while everyone's making fun of us. And then we beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I don't care what all you Buckeyes have to say. I don't care what you Michigan State fans have to say. We all know that you're in love with Ohio State and you wish you could be Ohio State and you probably wish you could be us. and you live vicariously through Ohio State because they're actually doing, things that your program could never dream of right now anyway. This was a great season. I have no issues with how this season went, especially because we all know that we sacrificed it in favor of the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually saw it, or you saw it too, that Davis Warren is coming back. I thought he was graduating.
Yeah.
And I saw that he was coming back, and I got to tell you, I get it. He's not the best quarterback we've ever had, but it's hard not to like the guy.
I
And
know.
I'm actually kind of excited he's coming back. I mean, I want Bryce Underwood to get in there and show everybody how it's done. But
Mhm.
I'm not unhappy that Davis is coming back, so that'll be nice.
I'm not unhappy about it either. I've got thoughts on that. The last question, we're gonna go over that.
All right. Well, I had asked you a couple of weeks ago, our last video, that was there a chance that Michigan could beat Alabama, and you said, Yeah, I think." Well, and now they've done it, and and I have to add this. I almost forgot, because I've been saying this all over the place too. That Kalen DeBoer has actually now set a record. He is the first coach to lose to Michigan twice in the same year with two different teams.
The same calendar year.
The same calendar year, even. Yeah, it's. I feel bad for Kalen, but I'm sure he'll be okay. I'm sure he's laughing all the way to the bank with that Alabama money.
Well, he's crying all the way to the bank. He's
Crying
wiping his
all
tears with his millions of dollars.
right. But we have to ask, because both you and I were stunned watching the Ohio State and Alabama games. How did Michigan beat Ohio State and Alabama? I mean, has Michigan just gotten into the heads of these coaches with some psychokinetic technique, or did Sharon Moore just give birth to a juggernaut of a football team that's just finally stood up when they played Northwestern?
Psychokinetic. What now?
Dan
Uh,
Aykroyd taught me that.
got it. Okay. Thanks, Dan. I only recognize one Dan Campbell.
There you
Campbell. Whatever. Um,
go.
did Sharon Moore just give birth to a juggernaut football team?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, you were shocked by the Ohio State result. Everybody was shocked by the Ohio State result. I saw it coming from a mile away. Wait, 100 miles away. I saw it coming from a ways away. I don't know what the actual phrase is. I feel very stupid right now, but I saw it coming, and I told my wife, whose name I will not say on this because she likes her privacy. I said, either we're about to get blown out today, or Michigan is going to stun everybody and it's going to be incredible. And her response was, "Why are you telling me this? I told you I don't care. I don't like football." And that's fine. But still, that's what I said, was either we're about to get blown out in a historic fashion and the fury and vengeance of all of Ohio State faithful is going to come barreling down on this innocent Michigan team, or Michigan's going to somehow figure out a way to win. And that's exactly what happened. And it's hilarious. I think that Michigan is in Ryan Day's head. I do. And I kind of feel bad about that, because I'm a softie inside. You see this hard shell. I make a lot of jokes. It's because I'm actually very insecure and soft on the inside. And I make jokes to cover for the fact that I feel a lot of empathy for all humans, most humans. And Ryan Day is one of those humans that I feel a little bit of empathy for. Like, the guys, so real talk though, the guy's got like a family history of mental illness. And,
Yeah.
he's had some sad things happen with his family, and that's terrible. I wish him the best. And so, with that in consideration, I heard that Ohio State fans were like sending death threats to him.
Mm.
His kids were getting bullied at school because of it. His wife was getting bullied. Can you bully an adult? I don't know. But, his wife
Yeah,
was
I think
getting
so.
some crap for it. Yeah. All right. That's not right. That's not cool. And so I kind of feel bad about it. I feel like, Ryan Day, every time he thinks about Michigan, he's not thinking like, okay, what can we do to beat them? We got to do this. I know we can do it, guys. Like, we've got the full support of Buckeye Nation behind us. We can do this. No, he's got, 110,000 people at the Toilet Bowl Stadium all screaming for his head. every
Yeah.
single play. I mean, you watch the game, you can hear them booing every single time they run the ball. And you got to wonder, why were they running the ball when they've got Jeremiah Smith out wide, when they've got Emeka Ibuka and Carnell Tate? I don't know. And that's why I think Michigan is in his head, is because he knows that if he loses this game, they're all going to be calling for his head again. That's a lot of pressure. And so he doesn't want to put the game in danger at all. And so he's saying, just run it. I don't want to lose the football. We don't want to lose the game. We know we can run all over these guys. The problem is that no, you couldn't actually, because for some reason you were running into two of the best defensive tackles in the nation, two of the best defensive players in the nation. Why were you doing that? I don't know. The only obvious answer I can come up with is that Michigan is in Ryan Day's head. Are they in Alabama's head or Kalen DeBoer's? No, but I think they're in Jalen Milroe's head.
Hmm.
I think Jalen Milroe sees that winged helmet now and just kind of starts twitching. I don't like that. It freaks him out. I mean, every time he plays Michigan, he's getting sacked 1.5 million times. He's
Yeah.
turning the ball over a billion times. It's not a good time for him against Michigan. So I feel like he's just, Michigan's defensive line was giving him a ton of crap throughout the Rose Bowl, throughout the ReliaQuest Bowl. And give some flowers, give some credit to Wink Martindale, because the guy called a master class against Alabama. He called a great game against Ohio State, but Ohio State made it easy for him. Alabama at least tried to throw the ball around a little bit, and Jalen Milroe is known for his mobility, whereas Will Howard, he's definitely mobile, but I don't know. Jalen Milroe had a lot more quarterback design runs. I think anyway, point being that Wink Martindale, I think, just called a really good game.
Hmm.
But I think Michigan is definitely in Ryan Day's head. I think that they might also be in Jalen Milroe's head, but that's about it.
Yeah, you got to figure that defense really stepped up. They had it for the Alabama game, the ReliaQuest Bowl. What they had that downpour in the first quarter, and that's
Mhm.
supposed to be the great leveler. Whenever you have bad weather, that's the great leveler on all of these teams. But that rain cleared up. What, by the second quarter? First
I
part of the way
mean,
through the second quarter.
I think part of the way through the first quarter. I think it
But
was
yeah,
over by second quarter.
yeah. So and even in that, well, I should say that Michigan was having a difficult time scoring after the rain stopped, but that defense stepped up and wouldn't let Alabama score either. So Michigan won that game because their defense wouldn't quit.
Yeah,
And that makes it amazingly exciting for next season, I think.
yeah, because they're all coming back. But I got thoughts on that too.
Yeah, and speaking of next season, we know it's never too early to talk about 2025. Some people think it is. You get those way too early polls, but we're not doing a poll. We're
Mm,
just talking about Michigan. With all of these
mm.
big recruits coming in, Michigan's going to be looking at that Big Ten championship again. Do you think, based on how things are looking now, can Michigan get back to the Big Ten championship in 25?
Yeah, I think they can. Um, I think it comes down to Chip Lindsey. I think it comes down to the offense. From what we saw from the defense, obviously you were just talking about this. From what we saw from the defense against Alabama, against Ohio State, I think they can absolutely carry Michigan to a Big Ten title game, as long as Michigan can score even just a little bit more than they did this season. Um, I think that they're going to be improved at quarterback, whether it's Mikey Keene, Fresno State. I think Fresno State transfer. I think Mikey Keene's probably going to get the start just based on his veteran status. He's a little bit more experienced, but Bryce Underwood is obviously incredibly talented, and freaking Davis Warren is coming back, and he's got more experience too. So, I mean, if he has a good spring, if he has a good fall, I mean, maybe he'll actually be better. Anyway,
Right.
either way, I think Michigan's going to be vastly improved at quarterback. They're going to be even better at running back. They got Justice Haynes, the Alabama transfer, coming in. They've got Jordan Marshall, who is an absolute beast in that game. Holy crap. The O-line just picked up a couple of transfers, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who played on offense against Alabama, apart from Alex Orji, is coming back for next year. So there's going to be some experience there. There's going to be some guys who have seen Alabama and have beaten Alabama, which is kind of incredible. um, So yeah, I think with the additional pieces from the transfer portal and the recruiting class that's coming in, I think Michigan is going to be right back into the national championship conversation. Will they win the national title? I don't know. I think Michigan's still going to be a little young and they might need a little bit more experience from more players, but they'll have experience from or more experience from some players, which should make them at least better in 2025. But I'll also say this, that if they win the Big Ten, they'll likely be the favorites for the national title coming into the playoff. And I think
Ooh.
that's because I think the SEC is faltering. I think
Mhm.
that what NIL has done is proven that the SEC was offering some secret benefits prior to NIL being legal.
Yep.
And I think that the Big Ten is showing that they have more money, Michigan especially, Ohio State too. I don't mean that to be a shot. I'm just saying. Um, but I think that that's going to end up making the Big Ten the best conference in the nation. And therefore, I think that by, whether that's the transitive property, hopefully I don't upset Justin Adams with that, but I think that that just means that whoever wins the Big Ten is going to be favorite to win the national championship. So if Michigan can get to the Big Ten championship game, then they'll be in conversation at least for the Natty. If they win the Big Ten championship, they'll be the favorite, in my opinion.
Ooh, so a bold prediction right here. Michigan wins the Big Ten championship. They're the favorites for the national championship.
Well, I didn't predict that. I'm just saying.
You're saying it's possible. You're saying
I'm
there's a
saying
chance.
there is a chance.
Fantastic. Actually, I heard too that Michigan might be trying to get Alex Orji back. He hasn't actually gone anywhere
Oh,
yet, I don't think.
he hasn't
Is it?
committed. His name
Yeah,
is in the portal, so he can come back.
he can come back. I
Mhm.
believe they are trying to get him back. We'll see what happens.
What would they get him back as? I mean, maybe a linebacker?
I think he'd be fantastic at linebacker. I think that's where he should have been all along.
Yeah, I mean, probably, but
Yeah,
with Bryce Underwood, Mikey Keene, and Davis Warren coming back, I don't see any room in the quarterback room for him, unfortunately. And again,
yeah.
it's such a crappy position to be in these guys, they're so easy to root for. Alex Orji and Davis Warren. I love these guys. Davis Warren, I'm going to buy a jersey. I don't even have a JJ McCarthy jersey, and I want a Davis Warren jersey. I want a JJ jersey too, but I might actually get a Davis Warren jersey, maybe an Alex Orji jersey too. They're just so easy to root for. Like they give their
Yeah.
all every single week. And if there is any hate or slander against Davis Warren or Alex Orji, you're going to have to deal with me because I will not have it. All right, I'm done.
All right, well, let's leave it right there then. What do you think about what we think? Leave a comment and let us know. You can find us on X. My handle is DAWG Team Rivalry, and Mac is B1G Team Rivalry. Stop by and give us a follow and let us know what you think. If you want more great analysis on college football, check out all the shows right here on Michigan Football at the Voice of College Football and all of the channels on the Voice of College Football Network. You can also catch Mac and I over on the Team Rivalry show on our channel. Mac, take us out.
This is Michigan football at the voice of college football.